Well, hello there, Libra. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. So, today we are going to do your mid April reading. This is good for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, let's jump into it and see what's on the horizon for you. Freedom. Oh my goodness. I love that card. And watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. Okay, this is the energy that you are free from something in the past. And this could be a mindset. It could be, a thought pattern. It could be a belief. But it could also be that you've allowed yourself to free yourself from a relationship or a situation, a job or career, or you're about to free yourself from that, right? But it's kind of like allowing yourself to recognize, okay, before I can move forward, I have to figure out what the next step is, right? First, we have to allow ourselves to detach from something. Then we detach, rest, and then you can take action. Okay. So, sometimes Libra, what can happen, especially for air signs, and I'm a Gemini sun. So, we both have that air sign quality of making quick decisions, right? We can, easily see, okay, what we want to what we don't want, and then move forward very quickly. Yes, you have time to go. See, you're kind of like, I'm free. I'm out of here. I'm ready to go. But it's kind of like asking yourself, okay, where are you going? Right. And allowing yourself some time to sit and think about it, to almost like build a strategy, I would say, as far as how you want to approach a new chapter. This is definitely the energy of allowing yourself, to recognize. I think there is a little bit of healing you may be doing, but it's time to also recognize it's time to let the past go. Okay, because there's something painful from the past that you're kind of holding on to. And so you could have broken free from something, a relationship or a situation, a habit, okay, something. You could have broken free from it, but you haven't yet replaced it with something new. And this is the energy of allowing yourself to not just move forward towards something new without first considering what it is that your heart truly desires, okay? And that is sometimes the hard thing, because you have the Six of Pentacles here, right? You want to go forward. You want to move forward quickly. There's almost like this energy of you don't want to take the time. I totally can resonate with this, because it's kind of like sometimes when I'm done with a project or I'm close to being finished with a project, right? It's kind of like, okay, that's done now. Now I'm going to go do this. But there's this energy of taking a moment and, even celebrating, even if you've allowed yourself to detach from a relationship or a habit or a job that was difficult, right? That was painful. It's kind of like, you have the energy of I'm out of jail, right? There's almost this energy of I'm out of jail and I'm just gonna go and live life. Okay, but if you just go and you're just moving and you're busy in your life, it does not necessarily mean you're going in the direction that your heart and soul are calling you to go in. Right. This is a little bit of, they're showing me like a 2 or a 3-year-old, right? And, have you ever, like taken a 2 or 3-year-old to a friend's house or a relative's house, right? And the house isn't really toddler proofed, right? And it's kind of like, the toddler just runs around and wants to grab all of the fine porcelain knickknacks that are in the house, or grab on the cat or whatever, and it's like you feel like you're chasing after this toddler, trying to get them to sit down and read a book, and they're like, wait a minute, I got all this stuff that I can play with, right, that I don't get to play with at home. That's a little bit of the energy you have here. It's kind of like, whoa, I'm out of jail, let me just go and just taste everything that's out there. But there's a little bit of an energy here where Spirit's saying that by doing that, by just chasing, okay, and not really knowing what you're chasing, you're moving, you feel like you're moving forward, you're making progress, but you really and truly aren't. You're actually slowing your progress, because part of it is allowing yourself to listen to your heart and recognize what isn't for you. In fact, you have the High Priestess here, right? Allowing yourself to really listen to your intuition. What is it that your heart and soul are really calling you to do? I have a feeling that this is kind of like difficult because of the situation that you may have left, or the chapter that you're leaving behind, right? It's kind of like this is a very difficult energy. And it's a little bit like, okay, that chapter is over. I just want to play and have fun. And there's nothing wrong with playing and celebrating and having fun when we have finished something that is difficult, especially, right? But it's also allowing yourself to say, okay, there's one thing about having a party or celebrating or going on vacation for a week or something, and then starting to live that, right? There's a difference. And I think that is what Spirit is kind of like calling you to think about is, are you just chasing? There's a little bit of energy. Are you just chasing after fun? Yeah, because I feel like there's something here. You're even showing up. We have the Justice, your energy, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, okay? I feel like there's something where it's kind of like you're trying to perhaps either give out offers, okay, to people or situations that really may not be in alignment with what your heart truly desires, because you just want to fill a void. Sometimes when we've been freed of a relationship or a situation, we have that void and it's uncomfortable, right? So it's kind of like, oh, I just want to fill the void with anything so I don't have to deal with the energy of the void, because the void can feel lonely. It can feel empty. Right? It's a little bit of that energy. I just want to feel the void. Sometimes we can, even take to, eating our emotions, drinking our emotions, right? Allowing ourselves to get off track from what we really want for ourselves long term. Once again, there's nothing wrong with having a party or celebrating, right? It's kind of like it's a short window of time. Okay, hey, this is over. I want to get with my friends. I want to do a little bit of celebrating. I made it through that divorce, that job loss, whatever it is, right? It's kind of like, okay, I got through it. But now I want to get back into focusing my attention towards what it is that I want next. And I think that that's the energy. It's kind of like, who do I want to, or what do I want to offer, right? My love, my skills, my talents, my friendship, who and what. And that is a little bit of this energy of quieting the mind and listening to your heart, asking yourself, where do I want to go next, right? Or what does that look like? What do I want as I move further into this new chapter? Because here's the thing, your guides are coming in and saying, look to the long term. You see how that fox has the telescope? It's kind of like, what do you want for yourself long term? Because I feel like you've lost your focus a little bit of what you want for long term. And that is when we can start feeling like we don't have enough, or we are not enough to acquire what we want long term. Either that, or if you have been celebrating too much, it could be a little bit that you're feeling this can be not feeling very healthy, right? Not having the energy to really and truly focus and to go after what your heart is truly desiring next. So let's clarify this for you to get a little bit more clarity. Yeah, I feel like it's been a long time where you have been trying to step into an energy. I love this. 10 of Cups and the Star. Wishes and dreams, right? Coming true. But here's the thing with the Nine of Wands, this has been a long, hard battle. Okay, you have had to let go of things, people, situations, beliefs, mindsets that were not in alignment for what you really and truly, your heart truly desires, right? And with the Star card, this is really the energy of shining your loving light as brightly as possible, perhaps even serving other people, right? You may have chased after a career or even a lifestyle that now you're understanding is not really for you. It's kind of like a little bit of realigning to what it is. You're realigning to what your heart and soul really and truly are desiring in this lifetime. And I feel like it's kind of been a long haul, at least 9 years, I would say, where you have been kind of like trying to figure out. In fact, you have between worlds. You could have had you could have 9 years where you have been going between your old self and your new self, right? And allowing yourself to figure out what it is. You have the law of attraction here. It says by the book, it's all about the law of attraction, of learning what to let go of and what to bring into your life. Because I feel like you are at the beginning of a good news cycle. I am going to say that, a very prosperous, loving cycle here, because Pluto has moved into Aquarius. And asking yourself, what is it I'm trying to build in this new chapter? Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years. So ask yourself, what do you want to end 20 years? Allowing yourself to say, okay, this is where I am. This is where I maybe want to go. Understanding it's a process, right? It's a process to get there. But in order to have what it is that you want, you also have to have a strong foundation. This is the energy of knowing where you want to go and creating a strong foundation for yourself. I feel like there is this energy of just perhaps not... Gemini had some of this energy too, of not allowing yourself to sit still enough, long enough, right? And air signs, we have a hard time sitting still. But it is about allowing yourself, look, you have here and now, you have the yin, you have breathe, okay? It's about allowing yourself to sit and to allow yourself to truly clean out the old, the chaos and the conflict of the past, and ask yourself, where do you want to be? Especially like in 20 years, right? But if you can't go out 20 years, right? If you're like, oh, that's just too long, right? Okay, where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years? Allowing yourself to recognize you're at the beginning of a new cycle. It's focusing on what it is that you want long term, and not allowing yourself to just kind of flit, okay? And waste time. Now, this is kind of interesting. They're kind of using, like, sometimes you'll have, and I have 3 children. I can say I know this as a mom. They go to college. You may have a child that goes to college, right? And they don't have any idea of what they want to do when they grow up, which a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds don't, right? So it's kind of like they go to college, they sign up for one major, then they change their major, then they change their major again, then they change their major again, right? And a 4-year degree suddenly becomes a 5 to 6 year degree, but then, oh my goodness, now I have to go get my master's or blah, 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 right? You get the idea. And then they get done with it all and they're kind of like, oh, wait a minute, I've changed my mind totally, right? This is a little bit, if you know somebody like that, right? It doesn't have to be in your family, right? But there's people out there that have had that path, right? And understanding that there's nothing wrong with that, except that I feel like here you're being asked to not just flit, okay? It's kind of like allowing yourself to sit with yourself, with your heart, with your soul, and ask that question. What impact do I want to make on the world? How do I want to be remembered, right? What would I love to change? Because here you have chaos and change. What would you like to change about the world? I think you're being asked to step up to being a spiritual teacher or a guru of some sort, right? A leader in some way. But it's kind of like asking yourself those questions first. What impact do you want to make on the world? How do you want to be remembered when you're no longer here? Thinking of and then working your way backwards, right? It's kind of like a 17 or 18-year-old, if they don't really know what they want to do for the rest of their life, right? Going to college and just skipping around, changing majors. They may change their major because they don't like the professor or they didn't get a good grade on a test, right? It's kind of like, it's kind of like, what do you really want to do? How do you want to impact the world, right? And I feel like that's kind of the energy here, asking yourself, what do you want for yourself long term? How do you want to impact the world? And then allowing yourself this time to sit and be and create a strategy, right? Allowing yourself to really kind of know the direction you're going in instead of just buzzing around. Yeah. Really kind of interesting energy there. We do have so many planets that, are coming out of Pisces, moving into Aries, and this is creating that energy, especially for the air signs, of just wanting to take action, but taking action just to take action that doesn't really get us anywhere, or at least not closer to what our heart is truly desiring, is perhaps sometimes time and energy wasted. Now, there's nothing wasted, right? We recognize that. But I feel like there's an inner frustration with yourself and with life because you understand you are busy, but you're not sure you're going in the right direction. It's just time to stop and listen to your heart. Really beautiful. Okay, so let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Libra, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Am I focused on what I want most? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. One reason so few of us achieve what we really want is one reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. What you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments? Prioritize. Yeah, that is exactly what this message is all about allowing yourself to say, what are my core values? How do I want to impact this world, right? What changes would I like to see? How do I want to be remembered? That is not about moving. That is about sitting and being with yourself. And part of the time when we're in that energy is that we recognize our ego flares up and says, oh, wait a minute, this means a lot of change in my life, right? It means that I may have to make some adjustments to the way that I'm showing up in my life. This is also an awakening. This is a little bit of awakening or ascending to a higher level. And just allowing yourself to be okay, right? Being gentle with yourself as you're doing this. Allowing yourself to say, okay, it's time to go after what I really and truly want instead of just, kind of flitting around and perhaps being busy, but not putting time and energy towards what you are really and truly desiring in life. Wow, beautiful energy. Yeah, I think the air signs are really onto something new, and allowing yourself to really have focus, have a strategy, organizing yourself so that you can go forward efficiently towards what it is that you want, but also enjoy life. I think that's the thing. It's kind of like finding that balance in your life. All right, well, I am going to leave it there, Libra. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.